Dear Mr. and Mrs. Next President, gun control is the most important issue that is to focus on during your presidency. It is imperative that you focus on this issue, first because of gun-related violence and gun-related deaths caused by this issue. These devastating effects of gun-related issues have affected millions yearly in America. On Gun Violence Archive, it shows the truly horrific statistics. It shows, on average, 306 people are shot, 56 people kill themselves, 31 people are murdered, and 90 people are shot from assaults and other altercations per day. On the U.S. Gun Violence Statistics.org, it shows what ages make up the percentages for gun violence. Surprisingly, one half of those people who die are between the ages of 18 and 35 years old. 1/3 of those are under the age of 20, and the homicide is the leading cause of death for 15 through 24-year-olds. The reason for these crimes that devastate many living families and people are anything from gangs, mental illness, violence from video games, convicts who want to commit more crimes, and many other reasons. Crime rates have risen over 60% since 2005, according to the New York Times article. It is essential that we find something to help these appalling and devastating deaths by gun violence and gun-related assaults and issues. If we do not have gun control, there will be more lives lost and people will be shot, and we do not want that.
It is also important you focus on stricter gun control of military-grade weapons because the gun violence is getting bigger and more devastating by the day, which needs to be changed by the next president, and the right to carry a handgun, I think, is fine. To be legal for protection, but there needs to be tighter laws. There needs to be tighter laws over what guns you are allowed to buy. People are able to get their hands on a military-grade weapon. 100 million people own a military-grade weapon in the United States. Anyone at the age of 18 or older are allowed to buy ammunition from a store or gun shop. The limit of the ammunition you can buy is 6,000 rounds of ammo. You should not be allowed to buy 6,000 rounds of ammo for a firearm each day because there's no need for that much ammunition. The amount of firearms in the United States cost about $489 million.
It is affecting the American people because of the ideas and effects caused by gun violence and gun-related deaths. Some people should not have the right to bear arms. Like, for instance, the Hauser case. In the New York Times article, it talks of the Hauser case. Mentally ill John R. Hauser was too ill to carry a gun. He also had a long crime history, so much so they refused to give him a permit to conceal a weapon. But in Alabama, you do not have to have a permit to buy a gun. So, Mr. Hauser bought guns. His wife was frightened that he would harm himself or others, so she would throw the guns in the river. But throwing the guns in the river did not stop Mr. Hauser. Mr. Hauser was obsessed with the shooting in Charleston, South Carolina, when Dylan Roof, a white man, killed 9 black people in a church. He even wrote in his diary, Dylan had the right idea, but had the wrong targets. Later that month, Mr. Hauser went to Lafayette, Louisiana, carrying a semi-automatic that he had purchased and opened fire at a movie theater, killing 2, injuring 9, and then killing himself. This mentally ill man changed the views in Alabama and Louisiana, shifting the views towards stricter gun control. And those are just some of the effects. One, two, three, go.
Next president, you should create laws in the United States like they have in England. In England, they have laws that say people can have shotguns, pistols, and black powdered weapons, but weapons that have a barrel size of 30 centimeters isn't allowed to have because it's small and can easily be hidden. Mr. or Mrs. Next President, you should follow the following plan in order to help address gun control. Because it can cause murder in public places. The United States should use that part of England's laws.
Thank you for listening.